back for another night of 37 days of Dwarf Fortress. Day 15. Hope everybody's having a good evening. All right, let's see here. Now, if we're going to do pasture spaces, kind of end up in the same place we were before. It's easier to use the existing water system where possible, right? But we have to make sure that the water system is off so that the maximum flood is whatever water will drip out of the system when we connect up to it. So we've got to check to make sure we're good there. Now, when they first do this, there'll be a little drainage, so I want to make sure it's directed away from the staircase, at least at first. Later on, I'll get rid of this little chunk of wall here, and we'll open it up properly. But that first blast of water, I kind of want to direct away from the staircase so we don't get any flooding in the staircase. Now the water will drain back out of the well there, but remember, there's only so much water in the well. once that's gone out of this level, it'll stop. And we'll button it back up. Using our well in this fashion isn't ideal, in the sense that our well is partially deactivated or out of commission in the way that we're using it. It would be a problem to use it at the current moment, for example. The water isn't deep enough to really sustain our well properly. But the goal here is that we link up to this properly and seal it up, get a good flow, turn it on, and flood this quickly, and then turn it back off. Welcome back, Esikoisa. And we can just use the raw stone on this. It doesn't need to be pretty, it doesn't need to be magma safe, it just needs to work. And we'll stick a door in there. I don't even know that we have any doors at the moment. We need to make some anyway. Need to get our masons up to date doing doors. Let's get some of this cleaned up because we want to move these things where they better belong. And the stills don't really belong up here, they belong down where the plants are being produced, so they can be used properly. Likewise, these forges need to eventually be moved down to the magma furnaces down at the bottom, so we'll get them down there. We'll keep the Crafts Dwarfs workshops because our trading depot is right there. Okay, so we still need to get our forges properly up and running. We need to get a butcher's section working, mechanics workshop, kitchens and stills. Pretty much every industry in the fortress, it looks like. So how's your night going tonight, Essequoisa? You glad it's Friday? I guess I shouldn't ask that. Maybe you're on a different time zone. You guys might be ahead. Of course, I guess if that's the case, you're enjoying your Saturday, so maybe I should be envious again. Yeah, going pretty good so far. I mean, aside from having to watch my stream, of course. Hey, if you got questions, feel free to ask, man. I'm happy to demonstrate something if I'm not doing it right away. Let's see. So we got our pasture spaces dug. We could use this same space for our workshops, but if I go up a couple of floors, we've got rooms here that we're going to dig out, and it makes sense to just go ahead and use one of these if we can, since we've got 30 floors to play with, it looks like. Food should never be left in a kitchen. If you have food left in a kitchen, it means you are missing a stockpile to store it in, or that stockpile is full, and neither of those should ever be allowed to occur. And I mean that. Kitchens are not storages, they are preparation areas, and nothing more. So once the food is done, it should be getting whisked away to somewhere to be stored. More storage is the obvious. If you're really running out, it will back up in the form of stuff left in the kitchens and never picked up. But you can have other problems that masquerade as not enough storage. If your dwarves are too busy, there's not enough of them to haul the stuff away, you might have plenty of storage, but it'll sit there and rot because they're just simply too busy to get to it. If you have plenty of storage, but not enough barrels or pots, you might have plenty of tiles, but not enough room on each tile to store all the stuff. Technically, you need more storage, but not really, because you really just need to make more pots and the storage will appear. Typically, you have to realize, I give over an entire 15 diameter circle here in tiles, all containing pots or barrels, solely for prepared food. And then I only start with about 400 or 500 meals in storage, and see where that gets me in terms of storage. And I want to say that's not even half of one of these normally. You could probably fill one of these. It's the pots and the space that make the big difference. But I've seen the labor issue. Ooh, see here, we got animals we got to take care of. Let's do that. Mason doing some blocks for us here. We really need blocks. It is entirely possible that you literally just have too much food. In that case, it's not really a storage problem. You're just producing too much. Stop making more. If you've got a job, a standing job to make, say, lavish meals like I usually do, at that point, at that moment, you want to clear the job and reset its conditions in such a way that it will stop processing, because you're just going to make the problem worse until that problem is solved. The quickest way to expand, and another reason why I run my fortresses the way I do in this fashion, is if I find I need more storage of a particular type. Say, for example, this stone stockpile turns out not to be enough for my masons. They need more stone stockpile. I have lots of labor, and they're just chewing through it faster than I can possibly get it stored. For whatever reason. Would never happen, but let's say. If I need more stone here, all I do is go back to dig circle and just expand the circle. Bang. Instead of 15, I go, 19 or 31 or whatever I need. 31 being the maximum. Because of the stockpile limits. You could go larger than 31 if you're willing to do separate stockpiles in the space, just for the record. But labor and storage are both in very short supply early. So if you're running into this problem early especially, that's the big one. Where I usually struggle with miasma is not the kitchens, it's going to be the butcher's shops. You can do a couple of tricks to keep your butcher's shops miasma free if you channel the tile above them, I want to say, so that it's technically been exposed to above ground. Then the center tile doesn't miasmate, I guess you'd say, anymore. But that's usually problematic. The problem comes with how do you floor that over. I'm not sure if it's above ground or outside that's the miasma preventing condition. If it's above ground, then flooring it over is great, and you're fine. Once you do that, drill it out, floor it over, no more miasma ever in your butcher's workshops or your kitchens. But if it's not the above ground condition, and I'd have to double check, if it's the outside, see, but it's one of the two tags. See, when you hit K on a space and it tells you inside dark subterranean, there are 3 tags there. Outside light, above ground, and they don't necessarily follow one another entirely like they do in this case. Sometimes you can have inside light above ground as well as inside dark subterranean. And I want to say inside light above ground does prevent miasma. But I don't remember. It could be the outside tag, and I can't remember. I need to look on the wiki. Remind me in a second, I'll check it out. Yeah, but see, here's the catch. See, the workshops have like this center tile, right? If you do it above the center tile of the workshop, then because it's it's an outside area, you don't get miasma outside, ever. If you're talking about building your surface area for cooking, you can build a surface area for butchery, for example. It'll never build up miasma. The kitchens and butcher's workshops are going to work the same way on this one. It's the center tile where it matters. So if you channel it out above the center, floor it over, I think that will prevent the miasma. It won't prevent the rot, obviously. The food will still rot if it's not stored properly. But I think it prevents the giant miasma cloud that makes everybody unhappy. So at that point, you're just wasting food without pissing everybody off. You still have a problem, but it's not so earth-shatteringly catastrophic, the way dwarves get tantrums over everything, And the female and the male have both been taken care of. Okay. we'll kill off the kitten. We really don't need another female right now. We're good on that category. Now we still need to geld this guy. I need to make sure there's somebody to do the gelding. See, now you ask me. Yeah, there it is. It's not the inside-outside part. It's the lights. It's the light above ground part. So if you trench out the ceiling above the center tile of your kitchen, or your butcher's workshop, or your tannery, for that matter, and your farmer's workshops while we're at it, because those have cheese and milk. And if you channel it out and floor it back over, it'll be inside, but that part's not relevant. It's the light above ground part that prevents miasma. I have forgotten that trick. I had used to do it all the time, but in this fortress it doesn't make a lot of sense for us because our food stocks are way down low. So we'll just have to be a little more conscientious about it in here. I'm going to give the miners a second to do that while I take care of something. Guys, I'll be right back.
Winter is at hand.
Guys, I'm going to have to knock off for the evening. I'm sorry. I can't finish for this evening. I'm just going to have to do it another time. Thank you. I will try to get you back tomorrow night.